Wait, is my mic? Yeah. It is. And I'm live. Okay, alright, awesome. So, the second and final part of this event. Finally. Today I had to start the stream a little bit later because I need to go somewhere. I have some things to do. But now I'm here, I'm back, and I'm ready to finish the story of this event. Hold on, let me try to crack my back a little bit. Nope, not this way. Ow. Yep, that way. Alright. US13. I am hoping that by the end of this event, I want to see Qiuhua cook. If Qiuhua doesn't cook by the end of this event, I'm going to be very, very disappointed. Especially considering the fact that she was planning to do a surprise for the commander when they reunited together. Alright, and I'm falling. Shucking off the past. Some people leave their past behind them. Some people agonize over it for all the days to come. Go. Oh, right back to Qiuhua, huh? Qiuhua is in the scavenger camp, looking at the wounded woman from behind. Miss, it's getting cold outside. Would you like to come back in and rest? I would like to walk around here a little. It might help jog my memory. The cold wind blows across the highlands every now and then, forcing Qiuhua to press down on her hat to keep it in place. She follows the woman's gaze, but all she sees is empty wasteland, which makes her hold on tighter to her hat. Alright then. I'll keep you company for a bit. Don't stay out too long though. The wind's cold. The hurt woman doesn't reply right away, only stretches her stiff neck as she takes in her surroundings, then begins shuffling aimlessly in a random direction. Qiuhua begins to wonder if this aimless wandering actually serves a purpose. That's the test plot. I think it would be best not to go in there. A test plot? She stops in front of that patch of land. But there's nothing here. It's a barren, square plot of land. Out of place, rough, a waste of effort and hope. There isn't so much as a withered branch here. It seems like the only thing that grows on this plot is nothing. However, Qiuhua notices some things that can't be overlooked. The scavengers go out tiling the soil almost every day. They began a little earlier this morning, and I can see the next shift heading this way. There's nobody here now, so does that mean the day's work is done? Like, is it the only part where no snow has piled up? The scavengers seem to believe that the snow and its collapsed particles will contaminate the soil, so they push it outside the plot. Sometimes I forget that even the snow can carry collapsed particles with it. Coffiny looks down at the freshly turned soil, somewhat curious about it. Did they plant seeds here? Or will they only sow after winter has passed? Supposedly, the seeds that the scavengers use were taken from their emergency rations. I wonder if they are still alive. But even if the seeds were fine, there aren't many cases where plants were successfully grown in the yellow zone. It looks like they have gone to a lot of effort for this. I wonder if they will succeed. Not all efforts are rewarded. That sort of thing is commonplace. Coffiny freezes, then turns to look at the woman. However, she just so happens to have turned aside, exposing a emotionless side profile to her. Coffiny reflexively follows the woman's gaze to the heart of the settlement. All light up and fancy, right? It's nothing like the desolation here. That's the heart of the settlement. They've got trade fairs, residential blocks, warehouses, and so on. You could call it a stable and fully developed town. Does that jog your memory? Nobody among the scavengers recognizes you, so I'm guessing that you might be from the settlement or an outsider who came for the oh my god, again this word, I cannot pronounce this fucking word. Who came from the festive trade fair. The hurt woman merrily shakes her head, a blank look on her face. I see. Oh, well, there's no rush. Maybe it will all just pop back into place after a few days of rest and relaxation. Just then, someone heads over from the ruins. Hey, Miss Amnesia, Miss Doll. Well, isn't that a coincidence? Did you girls came out for a breath of fresh air? Several of the scavengers call out to them. A few minutes later, they are in front of Coffiny and the woman. Miss Doll, did Miss Amnesia remember anything? I think she might need a little more time. The scavengers murmur their agreement. Then, one of them pats the injured woman on the shoulder. I want to open the window. There we go. It seems to throw her off balance, and Coffiny moves to support her. What the fuck, girl? Guys, come on. Hold on a little bit. It's surprising just how much strength a gaunt little body like that can possess. In contrast, the amnesic woman seems a little more well-fed. Coffiny signs internally. Oh, it's okay, miss. Just focus on getting better. Once you are strong enough, we will take you round to look up the guards. That said, those dogs of the management have their noses in the air. They don't give a crap about us, so you will probably have to explain your circumstances to them on your own. Thank you. Oh, it's nothing. If you really can't find your people, then you can just hang with us. Plowing the land and searching for parts is still enough to make a living. Who knows? Maybe you'll remember someday as long as you don't starve to death. Maybe we will grow a pumpkin that's taller than a man too. You guys have a really positive outlook. You're right. Things might not look so good right now, but if you hang in there, things will probably get better. Yup. We made it through this year, after all. Oh, I heard Expedition Team Leader Garen came back. Although we probably won't be allocated any of the good stuff, we can probably beg or borrow some of it, right? Plus, the trade fair is almost here, so spring is coming and we will be able to collect our annual supplies. Who knows, we might be able to grow something by next year. That's an improvement, right? Truth is, most of us followed Qiuhua because our families were gone. The idea of finding people from our hometown and living with them is way better than dying alone out there. When the days are this cold, you go for any way of keeping warm, even if it's just by huddling up with others. The wounded woman is at a bit of a loss for how to respond and merely grunts. Alright. That's enough chatting for now. Our little walk is almost over. Miss, you ought to head back and get some rest. Coffee bid the scavengers goodbye and helped the wounded woman back to her sick bed. However, the woman turned and headed elsewhere as they approached the medical tent. Miss, our tent is this way. The wind isn't as strong here. I'd like to spend a bit more time outside. The wounded woman slowly walks between the tents. The red ribbon, which serves as festive decorations, flutter in the wind. When they block her vision, she reaches out to sweep them aside. Wait for me. Even through several layers of tent fabric, the scavengers' voices carries clearly through the air. This tastes awful. Are we really supposed to celebrate the festival by eating this? What do you think? You know as well as I do how this year turned out. You might not even get potatoes if you were outside. Just eat it, man. Or what if we tried turning it into mashed potatoes? Maybe with a little bit of dirt to bulk it up. Ew. Or we could add some potatoes to the dirt for flavor? Bruh. Come on. We can't possibly eat dirt, right? Leaving aside whether or not it's actually edible, we ought to save clean dirt for farming crops. How about adding some water? Would water work? You mean clean water? Didn't Qiuhua say to save some water for the sowing season in spring? If you think it's too dry, you can always try some of that melt water outside. Now, with added collapse particles. Jesus Christ. Yeah, right. As if you could eat that crap. Maybe we could tell Qiuhua that we won't be celebrating this time around. I mean, we don't even know how next year is going to be, so we should save up some rations. Oh no, if the year went poorly, it can't be helped. We all worked hard this past year, to the bone even. That's why we need this reunion dinner to wrap things up properly. Being able to eat well is a good omen for the coming year. And besides, even if potatoes taste like crap, being able to fill your belly is still a good thing, right? At least you have the strength to work. Okay. Oh, yeah. Have you taken a look around the fair? They say Leader Garen's back and he had quite a haul. There's just about everything in there. Lots of underground brokers came as well, with canned food, fish, meat, and so on. Wish I could try some of that while I'm still alive. Don't be retarded, yeah? Sorry, you two. If you break the law, they will drive you out and then you really starve to death. Meh. I will just place my faith in these potatoes. Say, you think we can make it taste like fish? I have a feeling these guys would be... I think they would like Groza's knowledge about how to cook potatoes a lot. They would really appreciate it. The wounded woman's strength fails her. She stumbles and collapses against one of the tent poles. Who knocked my tent? The scavenger draws the flap aside. Miss Amnesia? Hey, you okay? We were just making some dirt potato salad. Dirt potato? No, wait. We nixed the dirt. Want to try some? Sorry for bumping into your tent. Oh, don't worry about it, miss. Have some. It's better than going hungry, right? We don't have much in the way of fancy cuisine here, but we can still fill our bellies. We'll be able to get some supplies once the festive trade fair begins. Yeah, we still have the fair. I have been looking forward to it for half a year now. The management's never failed to deliver on that side. Maybe we'll get something other than potatoes this year? Why not come in, miss? No, it's alright. I was just passing by. I am not hungry. He waves to them, forcing a smile to her face. Her smile soon fades, replaced by confusion and mixed feelings. Now, that just makes me wish even more that Qiuhua, by the end of this event, will cook something. She has to, at this point. Maybe even Sabrina will join in too. Ooh, maybe even Groza also. Alright. QA-16. Treasure Trove. Oh, looks like we are back to the commander and the others. Tales of treasure hunting rarely ever come to a true end. Okay. We follow Groza's analysis and of the mini-bot robot's route and head deeper into the ruins. Coffiny sends through another comms request. Commander, Vepli. Coffiny shoves Vepli aside, Jesus Christ, and forces herself into the frame. She's speaking much faster than normal. Commander, that wounded lady vanished. Everyone in the camp searched all tents, but we couldn't find any trace of her. She might have entered the ruins because we can't find her anywhere else. What should we do, Commander? When was the last time you saw her? About half an hour ago. We came back from walking outside, but just as I was getting ready to change her bandages, I came back and found that she wasn't in her bed. Vepli been practicing for the show in the commander's tent. Vepli didn't see the missing audience member. Coffiny briefly described the events that took place. Doesn't seem like anything's wrong. The camp's far away from everything else and she's hurt, so she couldn't have gone too far. Could she have regained her memories and suddenly remembered that she had nothing to do? With no idea about what might have happened, the dolls fall silent. Just leave her for now. Whether she strays or goes won't affect us, and we saved her simply because we had the luxury of doing so. She's free to leave if she wants. You and Vapley can keep searching for her if you want. If you find her collapsed somewhere, help her out. If you can't find her, then you don't need to spend too much time and effort on it. Understood, Commander. I will look for her one last time. The transmission ends. I hope she's alright. Everyone, we're almost at our destination. Hostile robots might show up, so please stay alert. It's in the building up ahead, right? Main door looks closed. I'll go bash it open right now. We are going for a frontal assault? Qiuhua, wait. Qiuhua quickly halts in her tracks. We don't know what's happening inside that building. We should probably circle around to the back and try to observe the insides before deciding on what to do. Oh, that makes sense. Sorry, I was being hasty. Let's go from the left then. Qiuhua runs on ahead. Well, these are ruins for you. There's tons of rot and rust overhead. Oops, mind your feet, the ground's crumbling. Thanks for the reminder, but I think we need the... I think you were the only one who stepped on the crumbly bits. Is that so? Clumsy me then. No making fun of me for it though. Ladies, please keep quiet. There might be robots in there listening to the situation on the outside. The air falls silent. I think I can see what's inside from here. Yura finds a hole in the wall and crouches down to look inside. A moment later, Yura pulls away from the hole. He seems shaken by what he's seen. He looks at me and freezes up for a moment, his mouth opening and closing like a goldfish's, before he finally manages to regain the ability to speak. Beside him, Qiuhua eagerly takes his place. It's the right place. It's full of... Whoa. Commander, there are mini-robots everywhere in there. Row after row after row, with all kinds of resource crates around them. You gotta see this, Commander. Qiuhua took the words out of my mouth. Well, she is a very energetic person, okay. Qiuhua pulls me over to the hole. Oh, she's fooling me. Qiuhua, take a few pictures of those mini robots and see if you can find out anything new about them. Rosa and Sabrina help her out. The dolls begin working. Those mini robots looks just like any other robots you'd see in the Yellow Zone. Nothing unusual about them. Commander, given the weathering on their outer shells, it's likely that not all of them are from the same batch. They seem to have been manufactured in different series and gathered here. I see. Commander, can I prevail on you and your dolls to take out this robot? We scavengers didn't steal those items, and if we can return the stolen goods, we might be able to change their bad opinion of us. At the very least, we won't be blamed for the most recent spate of thefts. Also, these robots attack us when we are out in the wasteland. A lot of our guys have fought them before, and rebuilding the ruins would be easier without them around. I mean, we are already here, Commander. Why don't we throw hands with them? Is that expression? Why is she doing that face? That was my plan from the beginning. When you attack, try and leave a few intact. It will make tracing them or turning them in easier. Got it. I knew you'd say yes. Now then, shall we get to it then? Be careful. They might have a functional alert. Wait, Thud. Qiuhua lands among the mini robots. Oh my gosh, she's so... and yells to her friends. Oh crap. I triggered their defense programs. Help me out, guys. Qiuhua. When we get back to the Almo, we need to talk a little bit, okay? Crap. This Diner Gate and Goliaths are all moving. I can see that. Qiuhua, you should inform your teammates before you start a fight. Sorry, I haven't had teammates in a while. Won't happen again. The dolls rush to join the battle. Oh my fucking god, Qiuhua. Let me see. Eliminate all enemies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. 9 enemies in 7 turns, huh? Alright, okay. It shouldn't be too difficult. Let me try and do this. Ow. Forget it, there's 10 enemies here? Sorry, no, 9. Yeah, I counted right. And we killed the Diner Gate. Sorry, not the Diner Gate, the Goliath. And then we can also do this. Please attack Rosa. Fuck. Oh well, no matter. Now, it's over. Just like that. That's simple, that easy, that fast. After a brief skirmish, all the enemy robots are dealt with. Phew. Well, it's over. So, the Nyan that was responsible for stealing all the supplies was actually this pack of mini robots. Commander, Qiuhua, let's go over our spoils. I mean, the stolen goods. Okay, coming. Yura and I enter the building and look at the supply crates of various sizes that cover the ground. Many of them are plastered with labels reading Festive Fair and face fancy lettering. It seems they are part of the trade fair decorations. Let's start by consolidating everything. The battle just now has made an even bigger mess of the supply crate compared to before. The dolls begin working at my command. Hey Qiuhua, once we send this stuff back, people won't suspect the scavengers as much, right? Yeah, we will finish doing an inventory of the items, and then I will hand these robots over to the inspector. The scavengers can't operate these robots, and if the management takes a good look at these robots' authorizations and data logs, they ought to be able to find something that benefits us. However, Qiuhua doesn't seem to be cheered up by this new development. Why not, Qiuhua? The thing is, until the truth is made public, the fact that these items were found in our turf won't necessarily clear our names in the eyes of people who don't know the truth. On the contrary, it might actually make things worse. Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, alright, okay. I was... I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, the fact that I start suspecting of people so easily. Water. I need to think about the best way to hand these things over, and I think it's better to keep quiet about this until we fully analyze the pros and cons of doing so. Can't you contact the inspector in private? Maybe try to send it back under the cover of night? This settlement has a night curfew, so things are pretty quiet then. I was thinking of that too. I will contact the inspector now. Qiuhua's call is rejected twice before it finally goes through. The man that Qiuhua calls the inspector has a stern look on his face, as though he was born scowling. Qiuhua, did you schedule this call? Sorry about this, Inspector, but we made a surprising discovery. Qiuhua points to the pile of lost items behind him. The inspector raises an eyebrow and, for the first time, he looks directly at Qiuhua and me as I stand beside him. Where did you find them? Did you catalog them? What exactly is in there? We found them in the depths of the ruins. We are on the scene right now. I'll send you the coordinates. We have also counted and sorted them. I will send you a list as well. The inspector goes through the information Qiuhua sent. Is that all? Is there nothing else? What else should there be? It's not like we've got a list of stolen items to check against, right? There's something I've been meaning to say back then in that interrogation room. There's something weird about you guys. If you have something to say, then just say it. The inspector seems completely unbothered by Qiuhua's displeasure. Never mind. You have done well in finding the lost items. However, I have a question. These coordinates are in the depths of the ruins. When did the scavengers go so far inside? I don't recall seeing any reports about it. The question is addressed to Qiuhua, but he's looking directly at me. We have never been here before. There are many robots everywhere, and they attack in self-defense whenever anyone gets close. It's not like we can handle them with the weapons we have. It was all thanks to Qiuhua and her commander. Yura steps away from the center of the frame, so Qiuhua and I are fully visible. Qiuhua merrily shakes a fist and grits her teeth on this girl. So, you are that Inspector Gadget or something? I remember your voice. You were questioning me in there. You were on the other side of that one-way mirror, weren't you? The inspector nods to me and ignores Qiuhua. Oh boy. Perhaps I am imagining things, but he seems a bit too focused on sizing me up. Inspector, I called you in the hopes of arranging a way to secretly transport these items. After all, they were found in the ruins. It's not often that the scavengers get to contribute to the community, so we would rather not have it cause suspicion and dissent instead. That is understandable. I will have my assistant arrange the details with you. And with that, then the inspector ends the call. I just got an invitation to a meeting from his adjutant. This fucking language, man. It looks like I will have work to do today. That's good, right? No matter how you slice it, since the scavengers are bringing the lost items in, they can't just turn it around on you and making you the villains of the story, right? Who knows? We are not like Leader Garen and his expedition corps. Everyone loves them. Still, since we can't change everyone's view of us overnight, all we can do is the best we can within our abilities. The inspector seemed to be in a better mood after seeing those items. He probably won't hassle the scavengers for a while now. Qiuhua, everyone, thank you very much. Did his face change? It did, right? Usually he frowns even more than that. Chief Yura seems to have thought of something, and he hugs himself while shuddering. Never mind. It's in the past. No point thinking about it. Commander, Chief Yura, will we be going back to the camp to resupply? If we are going to move the stolen goods after the sun goes down, we might have to wait for a while. I want to watch over the goods myself. After all, we went to a lot of effort to find it. We can't let this roast chicken fly the coop. Commander, could you lead the dolls back and give them a rest? I have logged the route we took here. I will have my stronger friends come by later to prepare to move the items tonight. Will it be okay? I think you mentioned that this was your first time coming this deep. Well, you cleared the route and will be coming in force. I think we can handle it. I don't know, dude. How about I stay with you until your friends arrive here? It sounds much more safer than just leaving you here alone. Noticing our hesitation, Yura lightheartedly reassured us. We will be fine. My boys and I have been exploring these ruins for almost a year now. They have grown a lot through their experiences. If there's anything we can't beat, we will run. Fair enough. We will be heading back then. No, Commander, please. Stay here for a little bit. Just a little bit more, please. Oh, right. Commander, you will be staying for the festive trade fair? Once it starts, we will probably be able to collect some supplies. When the time comes, feel free to come by our camp and we will celebrate. While our points are kind of dismal, we should have enough for a decent dinner with our saviors. I think. Oh, speaking of meals, I actually found something interesting just now, but I don't have the time to explain in detail. Once we are done here, I will tell you all about it in the camp. If it all goes well, we will be able to meet more lavishly next year, even if it isn't this year. That would be great. The way back is long, and we can still see Qiuhua waving to us in the distance. Commander, I actually received a text message just now. It looks weird, like some kind of prank. However, the timing was impeccable, so it might actually be legit. Qiuhua holds her communicator up in front of me. The sender is unknown. To the commander of the Almu, I have an urgent commission for you that pays well. The price is negotiable. I would like to tell you about it in person. Form Inspector. There are a bunch of coordinates behind it, which just happens to be inside Darksteel form. I don't like this. When did you receive this information? Right after Chief Qiuhua spoke to the inspector. Groza, can you pinpoint the location of the supplied coordinates? While it's within the farm, it's some distance from the other locations we passed through previously. Now, comparing with the map data to the fair and settlements, I found it, Commander. Is the farm's administration center. Huh? Could it really be from the inspector? Are you interested in the message content? He did say it would pay well. I give Groza a meaningful look, urging her to think of the Almu bills, and Groza indicates that she understands. The life of a wage slave, huh? Commander, I believe we should learn more about the nature of this commission. It's decided then. Once we have rearmed and rested, we'll head over. Do we need to make appointments or something? Chief Qiuhua got grilled just now because he didn't make arrangements. Come to think of it, how do we even make appointments? Do we have permission to do that? The message didn't mention any particular timing, and it said it was an urgent commission, so maybe we can skip the appointment. Huh? Is that what it means? No point thinking any more about it. We'll know once we get there. Qiuhua sure is energetic, isn't she? Oh, another story stage. This event has quite a lot of these, doesn't it? 1, 2. Yeah, look at that. We went from the story 1, then combat, then story, then combat, and you're going back to the story. And we will have 2 more combat ones in 1 story. Alright. US14. Voice of Faith. When presented with the options of cowardice and recklessness, choose bravery. Yep. Alright. Okay. Yep. That's... Yep. The people in charge are suspicious. Very, very suspicious, I see. There are many guards near the administration center, and we are approached before we can even reach the sign it posted. The sign posted main door. He's frowning too, just like stern inspector. Oh, is this the expedition team? No, adjutant. Okay. Are you the almost commander? I am Inspector Leo's assistant. Please follow me. He produces a metal name tag with his name on it from his pocket, and after briefly checking our identities, he gestures to us to follow. Two squads of guards coincidentally happen to arrive and begin a shift change. As the rows of men interlock and shift, the adjutant heads towards the main door, but instead goes around it, heading towards the rear of the admin center. I signal to the dolls to slow down. Qiuhua leans in close and whispers into my ear. Is there a need to be so sneaky about this? Isn't the inspector the big boss of the settlement? Think they're going to try and arrest and interrogate us? We'll just have to ask them. I look behind us. The shift change is proceeding at a pace, with the guards reporting to each other in the usual fashion. It serves to completely screen off the route we are taking around the admin center. Excuse me, but aren't we going in through the front door? The inspector would prefer that this discussion is conducted in secret, so we seek your understanding. Our choice of location is not very conventional. Huh? Listen up, pal. Conventional or not, it had better not to be the damn interrogation room again. No way in hell I will let the commander go in there. Oh, don't worry, Qiuhua. I would not be bothered by it. Okay, I went through a lot of interrogations before. You have no idea, Commander. You can't get out once you go in. It's like the Black Dolphin prison. What the fuck is the Black Dolphin prison? Please be at ease. You are not under suspicion at the venue in question is simply... And the venue in question is simply a room that has not been used in a long time. We won't draw attention there. The dolls look at me, waiting for my answer. The adjutant glances to the side, at the guards behind us. They won't be able to buy us much time. Commander, the inspector does not want to force your involvement, but I shouldn't be saying this. But as an individual, I hope you bring some change. Some way to improve things. The adjutant does his best to show his sincerity. Does your inspector keep his promises? I distinctly recall his mentioning it pays well. The adjutant freezes for a moment, and then he responds. I am sure you'll be satisfied with the payment. Please, follow me. The adjutant pushes the door open and gestures for us to enter. while he stands watch outside. And I am pretty sure I am not pronouncing this fucking word right here correctly, but I would just roll with it. There's someone waiting inside the room. Commander of the Almo, your reputation precedes you. I'm glad we could meet at last. Your performance during the settlement theft case has left a deep impression on me. I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm sure you will not be disappointed by the payments for this commission. He stands up and looks me over. There is no sign of anything resembling joy in his stern expression. Besides me, Qiuhua clenches her fist. I cover her hand, then hand her down to Sabrina, so the latter can try to calm her down. Hello, Inspector Leo. It seems one of my dolls was in your care previously. Allow me to thank you for your hospitality. The inspector goes silent for a moment. We regret mistaking your doll for a theft, and all suspicion of her has been cleared. If our investigators gave any offense, I would like to apologize on their behalf. Qiuhua, they have apologized already. Don't be mad, okay? I'm not mad. I was framed. I have been running around in the Yellow Zone for years, and this is the first time anyone treated me like a thief. Also, the inspector seems to have a commission for the commander. It's going to make things difficult for him if you stay mad at the inspector. Don't you think? Sabrina patiently quells Qiuhua's wrath, which allows her to cool down and think. That kind of makes sense too. Qiuhua glares at the inspector one last time and takes a deep breath. Fine then. For the sake of the commander and this payment, I hope you will all get along. Sabrina brings a sigh of relief as she mutters to herself. Good thing it was Qiuhua. At least she's easy to persuade. She has always been the accepting and optimistic type. I mutter my own reply to Sabrina. Maybe that's why she makes friends everywhere she goes. I just want the misunderstanding to be cleared up, so it does not impede our joint operations going forward. Have a seat, Commander. The inspector pulls up a chair, and we both sit down. Before we officially begin, there is one thing I would like to verify, for safety's sake. I understand your capabilities to a certain extent, and since I have decided to entrust you with this matter, I will also be placing great trust in you. To facilitate further endeavors, I will be sharing some information with you that should not leave this room. Can I ask you to keep it secret for me, whether or not we end up working together? Don't worry, we of the Almo know how things work around here. I will get to it then. The farm lost more than just those items you found. We also lost collapsed pieces, enough to feed hundreds of people for 6 months. Once he finishes, The room is so silent you could hear a pin drop. Wait, how many? Oh, holy crap, this is one hell of a job. If you're talking about enough to feed hundreds of people for half a year, you will need half a dozen dump trucks to carry them all, right? We were planning to use those collapsed pieces to purchase the basic living supplies that we would be distributing to the residents on the first day of the festive trade fair. We have chosen to delay the opening ceremony, but that is not a permanent solution. Let me put it this way. Even if we distributed all the remaining supplies in our warehouse, we won't be able to support the settlement for half a year. In addition, we cannot keep delaying the opening ceremony forever. I want to hire you to find the lost collapsed pieces ASAP. As for the payment... The inspector sounds tired and dejected, as though all of this has drained him of his emotions. He sends me a contract, which contains a respectable figure. Considering the sheer quality of the collapsed pieces that went missing, don't you think calling it a simple case of lost and found is kind of insulting to the residents' intelligence? Of course, it would be strange to say they vanished all at once, but that is why I'm handing this secret investigation to you. The collapsed pieces are normally stored in most heavily guarded parts of the warehouse. Not many people can repeatedly access that area. So, you inspect someone inside the settlement was involved. If a food transport chain was involved, maybe it was a group effort. Right now, I have no idea who I can trust, so I might as well draw on an outside force to help. Thanks to this doll, I had the perfect excuse to publicly mobilize our resources to investigate the Elmo. At the very least, I am now certain that you are an uninvolved third party. At least for the moment. Everything is clear to me now, for the most part. But I have one question. I point to the payment on the contract. If the amount of collapsed pieces we found does not match the initial estimate, then even if we do this task for you, there is no guarantee that the farm's management committee will be able to pay the full amount, or even pay at all. Am I correct to assume this? The inspector is silent for much longer than before. Finally, he nods. To be frank, the sum promised here is the maximum amount I can muster up, even if everything goes according to plan. The recovered collapsed pieces are needed for the celebratory distributions. Only after those are given out can the remainder be used for payment. If you accept payment in installments, then as long as the farm survives, we will be able to pay off the promised amount in 3 years. I am somewhat surprised by this. Isn't 3 years a little long for this? From what we saw in daytime, the festive trade fair had a wealth of goods on display. Surely the farm's finances aren't that bad, are they? Parts of the merchandise on display at the festive trade fair is brought by the brokers themselves. The rest of it is collected by the expedition team. Also, our trade with the brokers depends on what the expedition teams bring back. Right now, the nearby ruins have essentially been cleared out, so the expedition team can only go further afield. we need to take into account the impact of such factors on our work efficiency. I see. You have been very forthcoming with us, so allow me to consider your offer. I study the numbers on the contracts, then think about the Almo's financial situation and how we have very few options left. Our expenses have increased as the number of dolls joining us has gone up. Even 50% of the offered price would allow us to cover the Almo's operating costs. I have a feeling that a but is coming up right now. Oh, never mind, I was wrong. Very well, I accept. I reach out and shake the inspector's hand, then quickly finish signing the contract. And now we can finally get down to business. Do you have any suspects in mind? Yes. The lead suspect in our accountant... sorry. Yes. The lead suspect in our accountant's warehouse manager. Is this right? Is this how English works? Her name is Delia. Delia, huh? Oh, is this how the myth Amnesia is going to get brought back into the story? I don't know, something still doesn't really add up. Because Miss Amnesia, as the scavengers had named her, she was getting attacked, right? By the Aelids when we found her. Why is that? What was exactly she trying to do? Plus, there's the whole matter with the robots also, which have not been fully explained yet. Like, was someone behind the robots, or were the robots just following? No, they couldn't be just following previous instructions, because Groza did say that it looks like, by the amount of rust on their outer layers, it seems like those robots came from different places. So, if Delia was the one in charge of the robots, let's say hypothetically, why was she being attacked by the Aelids? Why couldn't she just use the mini robot to defend herself? Since Chief Yura did say that those mini robots were causing trouble to them. If they were causing troubles to the scavengers, it does look like those mini robots were capable of quite a fair amount of firepower. I don't know, something doesn't seem right still. Oh well. We found some irregulars. Oh my god, I cannot fucking speak this word. We found some irregularities during our previous routine investigation, but she had gone missing by then. The management went through all our surveillance footage, but didn't find any trace of her. Oh, plus there are still those dummy surveillance cameras too. Now that he mentioned it about surveillance footage. That is also another thing that it's very, very weird to have. I didn't know accounting was so dangerous. When did she vanish? That was 3 days ago. This is her personal file, including her picture. Here he goes. Here he comes. Here he comes. It's Miss Amnesia. The inspector brings up the suspect's photograph. Sabrina exclaims in surprise, and even Groza has a stunned look on her face. Commander, that's the lady we found. You have seen her? When? Where is she now? If she's the one you're looking for, things might be a little tricky. It's true that we saw her, but she ran off. According to the transmission from Coffiny, we had already left the scavengers camp before we found the missing trade goods. Groza quickly explains the situation. Have you been checking your camera footage over the past couple of days? No. The trade fair is about to begin and our guards have been stretched thin. Also, we performed a comprehensive search before and concluded that she's already left the farm's territory. Actually, some people subscribe to the theory that the most dangerous place is the safest place. We might still have a chance. Since she already turned up in the scavengers camp and we know the time frame when she left, we could try looking through the logs for the cameras nearest to the camp. That might narrow it down. Then, let's go to the archives. Sometime later. I see. It all makes sense now. After she left the scavengers camp, she entered a civilian home and left with a trolley and supply crates, heading for the fair. She's disguised as one of the traders. Qiuhua plays the video clips of all those events in sequence, forming a complete narrative. Our eyes meet, and we decide to take action immediately. There are more people in the trade fair today than before. Everyone is smiling brightly, their faces full of hope and anticipation, utterly clueless about the disaster looming in the horizon. I glance to my side at the inspector whose face is fixed in a green scowl, and reflect on how ignorance truly is bliss. Qiuhua in position. I'm ready too. The disguised Dahlia has already come into range of the dolls. It is time to close the net. Commander, we are in range, ready to capture the target anytime. Go. On my command, Qiuhua and Groza rush forward, each seizing one of the target's arms, and Sabrina steps up in front of her. Don't panic. We are just here to... Dahlia quickly looks between the dogs and me, but her eyes light up the moment she sees the inspector, like a limp marionette suddenly imbued with the spark of life. All of us disguised ourselves before coming here, but she somehow managed to hone in onto the inspector with perfect accuracy. How she did it is a mystery. Dear customers, your order is ready. Please follow me to collect it. Huh? Wait, order? Did we place an order? Dahlia lowers her voice. I won't run. Please Let go of me so people don't notice. The inspector needs to know the truth. I can't let myself die before that. Dahlia looks at the inspector. Qiuhua and Groza look at me, awaiting my order. Why are you so afraid of me? I am just a hurt civilian. I'm not even armed. Let's go. You came here looking for me, right? I signaled to Qiuhua and Groza to let her go. Please, follow me to the temporary cargo holding area, dear customers. Dahlia leads us away. She's trying to move quickly, but her injuries mean she isn't actually moving all that fast, which only adds to the tension. We come to a halt deep within the storage area, which is largely deserted. At first, my plan was to continue pretending to have lost my memory and stay in the scavengers camp before leaving the settlement. The further I got from this place, the better. But in the end, I couldn't do it. Nadia looks towards the scavengers camp and sighs. Then she takes a booklet out of her pockets. There are dark red stains on it. This is the real accounting ledger for the warehouse. You will need it. The late former warehouse manager did it very well. It took me a lot of effort to find it, and I doubt you're interested in hearing the details right now. Dahlia looks at the inspector. We still have no idea what that implies. For the past few years, I would go out in person and inspect the progress of the preparations for the trade fair. That was why I chose to pose as a merchant at the fair in order to increase my chances of meeting you. I needed to personally ensure this book reached your hand. Inspector, I have someone I would like to report. That would be Expedition Team Leader, Garen. For many years, he has falsified the amount of supplies gathered and falsely claimed contribution points for the expedition team. In addition, he has stolen large amounts of collapsed pieces. They took them in roughly 20 batches since the start of last month. The evidence is included in that ledger. This is a bit unexpected, I have to say. And I only say a bit because since the last stream I was already a bit suspicious of people in charge here. That they were the ones, that they somehow were the ones behind this. I don't think Dahlia is lying about any of this. But what about the inspector? I don't think he would be lying either. Okay, let's say Darren is indeed the one behind this. That would explain why, or better, this scenario would be more reasonable, would offer more reasonable possibilities as to why Dahlia was being, how should I say it, was almost killed by the Aelids. And that could also explain who is behind the mini robots. Oh boy, I hope Yura is okay. Fuck, I shouldn't have left Yura there. But then again, if we stayed there, perhaps we would not be able to get this commission. And we do need the money. A lot. Oh, okay. A cold wind blows. For a while, everyone is silent. Is it a tradition of the settlements to drop bombshell news with completely straight faces? Contorting your faces for emotional expression consumes energy, which is a luxury I do not have right now. Delia wumbles as another gust of wind blows, and Sabrina wearily moves up to support her. You need medical attention, Signorina. Delia waves her off, her eyes still fixed on the inspector. Okay, what is the inspector's response to this? I'm curious. The previous warehouse manager was in on it, but it seems he had a disagreement with Garen on the matter of the collapsed pieces, so he lost his life. The moment I took over, I noticed something wrong with the account and was nearly silenced as a result. My would-be killers thought I was dead and threw me into a disused storm drain. If these dolls hadn't been there, nobody would have found my corpse. Who do you think sent those killers? And what weapons do you think they used? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. When we found her, she was wounded by bullets. She had bullet wounds on her. Oh yeah. Her story seems very legit right now. What about the inspector, though? The inspector does not reply. Rosa and Sabrina quietly look away. It's a little embarrassing to be called out for illegal immigration, right in front of the region's supreme authority. Oh, oh, yeah, I forgot about that also. I fled here because of disaster. I know just how bad life in the Yellow Zone can be. It took a long time and a lot of hard work for this settlement to get to how it is today. And it's thanks to everyone's efforts that it's still going. I have decided I'm done fleeing. It's too tiring for me. Can you take care of this, Inspector? Right now, the only person who can stand up to Leader Garen, the only one we can count on, is you. It is at this point that the Inspector breaks his silence. You ought to know that just this one piece of evidence isn't enough. The former warehouse manager body has already been disposed of. That particular dead man will not be telling any tales. But we have a duty to the resident. Everyone has worked hard all year and handed their excess health and resources to the management to handle. Hardly anyone has any reserves. Now that the celebration is at hand, we both know that people are going to start panicking if the supplies weren't headed out. handed out, and it will soon erupt into unrest and chaos like the outside. This is more than a simple case of theft, so I urge you to treat this matter with the utmost seriousness. I understand the gravity of what you have said, and I will truly investigate this matter. Until then, the guards will arrange for you to be housed in a safe location and receive round-the-clock protection. In jail? I have considered that option. The inspector ignores Qiuhua's groans and looks Delia in the eyes. The farm does not have any dedicated witness protection areas. So, in lieu of that, a prison cell would be a more secure location, as it is staffed by reliable personnel and its layout is already well known. Currently, it is the best option for protecting a sensitive witness. I will do my best to furnish you with a comfortable environment and medical care in your cell. You will only be detained for a short period of time in order to ensure your safety. You don't have to explain further. I trust you to do the right thing. Inspector, I have already celebrated many celebrations here, and the management... You have never once missed a single one, which is why everyone has come to trust you. Delia thinks, and then she fixes the inspector with a stern look. I believe you understand the significance of the celebration in everyone's eyes. It's more than just a day to collect living supplies. It is a symbol of hope and the future. It shows that the path of unity, cooperation, and coexistence that we chose cling to is a meaningful one. So please, may this celebration be a happy one. I will do my utmost. The inspector's adjutant and his men escort Delia away and out of sight. Sabrina notes that the inspector's hands are balled up into fists. She nervously moves closer to me before whispering into my ear. Is he going to be alright? He seems a little... Isn't it a good thing that we have an idea where to find the missing collapsed pieces? I remember the vendors talking about the inspector and the expedition leader's shared past. They were battle buddies once. It's good for the case, but for him as a person, well, human emotions are a complex thing. We return to the admin center with the inspector. There is a gloomy mood in the air. Alright. Okay. I'm not suspicious of the inspector anymore. The problem now is that... how are you going to handle the expedition team? Because the inspector's personnel is already 10 because of the celebration. And now we have... and I assume the expedition team, because they conduct expeditions, well, duh, they surely have their fair amount of firepower with them, right? Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, there's no way we are not going to get involved in this. I mean, we're already involved, obviously, but I mean as like involved in the what I assume to be the battle that is going to take place here. Oh man. Oh man. I really hope Chief Yuta is well. If the mini robots were being... Well, at this point it's pretty much sure that the mini robots were being under the administration of the expedition team, more specifically Leader Garen. And since the expedition team is present at the settlement at this point, they surely decided to go check on the robots for the cargo that this mechanoid had been stealing. Ah, Yuta. They surely are going to find Yuta and the other scavengers there. Oh fuck. Shit. The inspector looks down at Delia's notes as he flips through them. In addition to the accounting data, Delia has tried to provide as much additional information as she could. What do you think of the information provided by the witness? Even if the witness testimony can be corroborated, the charges are being levied against a core figure of the farm. I believe having more proof would be helpful to the case. There are cameras throughout the farm. There's no way for the opposition to hide if they have a move. If they make a move. So verifying it won't be difficult. The question now is how far you're willing to go gather this proof. The inspector remains silent in his seat, as if he's morphed into a statue. He seems ill at ease. Ill at ease? Ill at ease while sitting in the chair, as if the temporary meeting room suddenly seems very cramped. Let's verify the evidence. The area surrounding the location where the witness was attacked was covered by a camera. Its footage should be in the appropriate security kiosk. I will have my people give you today's cipher key. Commander, I hope you will verify the truth of this attack. I also need to know the identity of the person who attacked her. Take whatever screenshots you need and send them to my adjutant. He will corroborate it against the database of residents. This commission is still secret, so I hope you maintain a low profile. In secret, huh? Are you worried about something, Inspector? The inspector looks up. There is a sharp glint in his eyes. It's just in case. Neither the management nor the guards can be fully trusted. My judgment is beyond suspicion. He is reliable, I'm sure of that. Understood. All the best to the both of us. I lead the dolls to the security kiosk in question. Hey there, how things going? Hey there, Hunter. Things are... I wanted to say things are going well, but right now the situation in the story is a little bit complicated, and I am a little fearful of the possibility of a quote-unquote civil war. I don't... Is civil war the appropriate term? Maybe not. Let's just say a fight for power of the settlement. Ah, man. I also don't not really sure what's the condition of Qiuhua at the moment. But welcome to the stream, Hunter. Just finishing the story right now. I lead the dolls to the security kiosk in question. Damn it, someone's messed up with this camera too. Wait, 2? Why did I say 2? That's because the tempering here is almost exactly like what was done during the mini-robot theft incident. Don't tell me the same person was behind both cases. Well, obviously. It's hard to say. We don't have enough evidence. But I have the conviction, Groza. Let's just start by restoring the original footage. We just need to connect to level 2, like last time, right? Shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. 7 enemies, 7 turns, 3 dolls. Ah, this is going to be easy. Okay. First things first, we can go here. And I really like Qiuhua's ultimate. Boom. Yeah, tensions are high in this town. Just a matter of time before everything blows unless the commander can do something. Yeah, it is. It is a bit of, how should I say, depression inducing the fact that at this point if the things are going to turn to chaos or not are more dependent on us outsiders. It does add quite a lot of pressure to us. Qiuhua is so good. Oh yeah, talking about Qiuhua, I did manage to get her. Before... Wait, did I reach the 50-50? I was about to say I managed to get her before the 50-50, but now that I think about it, I think I did get her in the 50-50. Ah, damn it. Can't flex about it anymore. But either way, I managed to get her, and that is a good thing. The data restoration is complete. In the restored footage, we can see Dahlia falling over after being shot. The killer approaches and drags her to a nearby storm drain. It is... Don't tell me it's fucking Darren. It is fucking Darren, isn't it? Looks like we're in luck. We got several shots of the killer's face. I will send these images to the adjutant. Pretty sure I'm still butchering that pronunciation. While you're at it, ask the inspector about how to proceed next. Should we head back to the admin center and meet up with him? So how much did you pull for Qiuhua? Just 1 copy, or did you go for the per weapon? You reminded me now. I was very lucky. I managed to get her 4-star weapon while trying to pull for her. And to me, that is enough. That is enough. I'm not going to try to pull for her 5-star weapon. If I came to the conclusion that if I wanted to get all the dolls as a free-to-play player, I should play safe and just try to pull for their 4-star weapons instead of the 5-star ones. So yeah, I did just pull for 1 copy of her. We find a secluded corner and take a quick rest. Shortly afterwards, the communications alert beep. Oh no. Don't tell me it's Yura, don't tell me it's Yura. It's from the inspector. Don't tell me it's related to Yura. Put it through. Rosa quickly explains what we have discovered. Yes, my adjutant just told me that there was a match in the residence database. The man is a high-ranking member of the expedition team. It's not there. Fuck! Fuck! Things would be so much more easier if Darren was the one who shot Dahlia. God fuck damn it. Oh well. Alright, the expedition team, you say. Let's go catch their leader, now. No, calm down, Qiuhua. Calm the fuck down. What was his name again? I think he's called Darren. Even I getting confused now. If it really was an inside job, then a lot of doubts from before can be answered. The spate of thefts from the residential areas and trade fair would force the guards to focus on them, which probably means the warehouse wouldn't be as closely guarded as before, right? The people who would know this best would obviously be core members of the management. Yes, that's right. And then there's that story about the Nyan causing trouble. That one came from a member of the expedition team too. Oh yeah, it did came from a member of the expedition team. Who said that it came from that? Oh, it was those two men. One of those two merchants. The ones that wouldn't shut up. Yeah, it did came from them. Oh. Nice. As much as I want to pull for upcoming dolls, I need to skip and save for Leva and Ro in the next major events. Also, I need to get an extra Yohi for V1 at least for future things. Oh, you're trying to go for some meta, huh? Okay, I see. I respect that. But man, you sure you want to skip? You sure? Are you sure? I mean, look at Qiuhua right here. Look at her. Are you sure you want to let this Q to grow pass? Are you really sure of that, Hunter? That one came from a member of the expedition team, too, right? Someone's uncle, nephew, father, roommates, or something. I am pretty sure it was someone's uncle, Sabrina. No, yeah, it was someone's uncle. I had to second guess myself. All this makes the expedition team more suspicious, but it doesn't directly implicate Garen. Hey, are you still holding on to a passive friendship or something? Everyone's collapsed pieces are missing here. Aren't they all going to starve if you drag your feet? Qiuhua, I'm sure the inspector knows this. He just needs some time. I stopped Qiuhua from pressing further. He has done a lot for the settlement, and the people trust him as much as they do me. I need to proceed carefully when it comes to him. Well, I am a fan from the first game, and members of the main cast are a priority for me. God damn it, Hunter. I'll try for reruns on those I miss. Okay, alright, saved. You're saved then. But the festive trade fair's opening ceremony is coming, and you have already delayed it once. Yes. The traders with our supplies arrived at the farm last week. If we leave them be and fail to close the trade with them, they will cancel it and leave. These brokers are not in the habit of hanging around and wasting time. Well, I have to say that you guys have your principles. A lot of settlements would choose to just rob the brokers outright. I have seen plenty of that in the Yellow Zone. Trade requires stability and trust. Those settlements you were talking about probably don't last long. Also, we have too many non-combatants here, and we can't afford to have a firefight at the checkpoint. That's also a major factor in all this. The inspector rubs his temples. Can't you, give out a little less? I would rather avoid such a course of action unless I have absolutely no choice. The management does not rely entirely on the guards to maintain order. The residents obey our regulations because they have faith in us. And a major part of that is not stealing from each other. Oh, that's not good. Okay. The residents' obedience is directly predicated on the management's willingness to keep their word. It's a virtuous cycle, and a very delicate one, my guy. Once trust in the management is gone, nobody will buy into the social contract anymore. That way lies chaos. Yikes. We saw the expedition team before, and there's one thing I'm curious about. Are most of the settlement's weapons concentrated in the expedition team? Fuck. They are the only group that needs to leave the settlement to work, and they shoulder the greatest risk. Naturally, we give them our best gear, including over 70% of our personal protective gear, weapons and ammunition to be distributed as they see fit. Fuck. Okay. Alright. Yep. A frontal combat against these guys is absolutely no. Fuck. If the situation truly calls for it, we may need to disperse the residents. I understand your concerns. The truth is, I have an idea, but it's a risky one. Come over to the admin center. We can talk there. The transmission ends. And it was nothing related to Chief Yuta. Thank God. The boy is safe for now.
任務完了。みんな、警戒を怠らないで。安全に帰還する。
Alright. Okay. US-15. Day of departure. Nobody knows what lies ahead of us, but we have to take a step towards it eventually. Okay. 2 days later, early in the morning, a broker convoy loaded with supplies leaves the settlement. Perhaps it is out of pity, or perhaps it's to repay the inspectors' honest dealings with them, but they make their exits without fanfare. Leo! How can you even sit on your ass at a time like this? The door to the inspector's office flies open. They really left. What should we do about our supplies now? This man from the expedition team projects an air of strength and danger, like a veteran Vertiger captain, or the leader of a band of bounty hunters. You sure? He seems so skinny. The supply problem has been taken care of, Mr. Garen. I nod to Garen. It is only then that he realizes my presence. And who is this? A guest of yours? The expedition leader looks at the inspector. This is the commander of the Elmo, our new partner. We have partnered with the broker Aminda, whom I introduced to the inspector. He can accept a short-term deferral in payments with my guarantee. Sounded desperate, so she's on her way now. Once again, I thank you for your help in this hour of need. All the residents will remember your kindness. This development seems to have taken Garen by surprise, because he pauses before speaking. Oh, so it's been settled, huh? Alright then. Means Aminda doesn't know the region well. The region well. Well, is that? I think that's a typo. The region well. So we are planning to send a team out to receive her. It's no problem. Garen thinks for a moment, and then he adds something else. Your guards don't leave the settlements often, so you probably don't know the way. Let me handle the meeting. I will bring the boys along. I can rest assured with you handling things. The festive trade fair is almost here. We cannot have any slip-ups. Oh, are we dragging this guy out of the settlement so that we don't involve the residents in the fighting that is probably going to occur? Also, by dragging him out of the settlement, we could also drag our dolls into the fight. It would be more easy for us to bring our dolls into the fight and have them fight at will in a quote-unquote deserted place in the wasteland. Okay. Looks like we'll be meeting Aminda together, Leader Garen. Oh, fight. I will get my guys ready. In the blink of an eye, it's time to head out. The commander, was it? Let's go. You lead the way. Hang on, the inspector isn't here yet. What the hell do you need him for? You're outsider, so you probably don't know, but all he does is send the expedition team off every now and then. He's too busy to come each time. Right. Let's go. Don't bother waiting for him. Sabrina looks surprised. Huh? Didn't you know, Leader Garen? The inspector is coming with us to meet Aminda. Is he coming? Say what? I hear the sound of footsteps behind us. It's the inspector. Sorry to keep you waiting. We can go now. Leo? What the hell? You have finished all your business? The fair's about to begin, you know. Aren't you supposed to stay home and make sure everything's running fine? The hell are you doing out here? This shipment is of vital importance. If anything goes wrong with it, nothing else will matter. So, if anything comes up, having me around will make things go more smoothly. It's been years since you've been outside of town. Don't you think you're getting a little too old for this? Just settle down. We don't need sudden stunts from you at a critical moment like this. If you want to go out on a ride, I will bring you with me on our next expedition. No. Shh. It's coming. It's coming of us. You will get the front seats from the fight that we are about to have, Mr. Garen. You can save it. I have already made up my mind. Seriously. It's time to head out. Since you clearly value that shipment very highly, it's best you make a decision soon. Let's go. Garen clearly hasn't given up on dissuading Leo, but the inspector ignores him and looks at me. Oh boy. Mount up, everyone. Follow us. Fight. Qiuhua 1-8. Old glory. My comrade. Old friendships age like the flesh does. Fight. And elites, we're going to fight elites here, huh? The fuck is Garen's plan? Just leave us? Attract a bunch of elites, leave us, and let the elites do the job? Try to frame this as a elite attack? The jeeps race over the wilderness, stabbing into a horde of elites like a lamb. Fuck! What kind of shitty route is this? Garen's voice is even louder with the wind blowing right in his face. The familiar outdoor seems to have caused him to shed some of his restraint. Time is tight and the terrain here is comparatively flat, so going straight would be quicker. As for the occasional obstacle, an elite blocking our path collapses as a gunshot rings out. The inspector's action supplies the answer. Oh, nice shot, Inspector. Meh. I haven't been in a firefight for too long, so I have gotten rusty, compared to back then. The inspector laughs in a self-deprecating way, and his mouth curves up in a smile. Back then? I heard the vendors at the fair say Inspector Leo and Leader Garen used to be pals in a bounty hunter crew back in the day. Yup, sure we were. This guy used to be the real William. Don't say the name William, sorry. This guy used to be a real William Tell. He will knock them down as fast as they popped up. That shot just now was too slow, nothing like how he was at his speed. Most bounty hunters tend to stay on the move. Once they finish sweeping an area, they move on to the next. And their routes are largely decided by their commissions. So, why did you guys decide to quit the business and settle down? This seems to be ancient history for them. Garen thinks for a long time before finally giving an answer. We messed up one too many times. Lots of our guys got hurt bad and kicked the bucket. In the end, our crew broke up. You know how life is in the Yellow Zone. This sort of thing happens all the time. All you need is to fill your belly. Take me for example. As long as you've got the skills to pay the bills, you can eat well no matter where you go. Rosa drives the jeep over a sandy curve, and all conversation stops for a bit. We end up swaying back and forth for some time before we can finally settle down. Our crew was never really that united to begin with, and we had discussions before doing anything. Anyone who agreed would join us on a commission and anyone who didn't wouldn't take part. While we live and ate together, we didn't have much in the way of a common consensus or close ties. Garen, remember that blonde-haired midget from back in the day? I think so. What happened to him? Don't remember anything about him. Don't think he rebuilt the farm with us. Well, he loved picking up first aid kits and would always go straight for them. Whenever our guys got hurt, they would have to buy medical supplies off of him. And if you couldn't pay, he would just watch as you died in front of him. Ew. Fucking douchebag. Ah, yeah, I remember now. You are always a busybody. I can't remember how many times you lent money to the people begging him for meds. In the end, everyone you lent money to died, and you didn't get a single credit back. Yeah, lending money in the yellow zone is risky. You need to invest wisely. That said, you're a good man for doing what you did, Inspector. That's off to you. Well, that blonde midget died later on, and nobody ever found that medical chest he always carried with him. Well, no shit. Hell, it might not even have been the enemy that got him. One of our guys might have been eyeing his med. What a thing to say, Garen. What a thing to say. Back then, we are always coming back with fewer people than we started out with. Some died and some left. Who's to say one of them didn't take the chest and scrapped? Back then, people only cared about what they needed at the moment. It wasn't common for infighting to happen because they found something valuable. Crews like that would either crumble or fall apart by themselves. Garen frowns. It seems like he's realizing something. Because his tone changes. That said, it's the yellow zone, Leo. It's like that everywhere. We are all going to die sooner or later, so I will just have to fight to survive for as long as I can. How did that saying go? Seize the day? Fight to survive as long as you can, huh? It's all just survival, huh? We have another Jacob here, it seems like. Hold on. Water. I thought that rather than drifting aimlessly, it was better to find a place to settle down. It wasn't necessarily the worst, be worse than being a bounty hunter. That's why we came to Darksteel Farm after the crew disbanded. A strange silence fills the jeep. Just then, we spot a plume of smoke in the distance. Commander, a pack of elites is approaching us. They are just in time. I have been meaning to give these old bones of mine a little workout. Oh, okay. So the fact that we are fighting elites is not because Garen decided to try to pull something on us. I mean, yeah, makes sense. I think maybe he would be willing to try something like that if it was just his man and the commander dolls. But now that the inspector is here, I don't think he's going to try to pull any funny. Boom. And now, for my final trick. Never mind, I can do shit. Wait. How about I do... not enough damage, huh? Okay. Well, let's try this then, I guess. Ooh. I can use the ultimate after using my third skill, huh? The messed up thing is that this is probably how most of the other bounty hunter groups are like out in the yellow zone. Yeah. But the few other good groups like the Commander and Aminda's and Polunitsa's group. Yeah. The yellow zone really is a harsh place to live in, isn't it? When you really think about it, like, you have the bounty hunters, which, well, let's just call them a somewhat of a neutral force, right? Maybe they will help you, maybe they won't. Whatever benefits them the most. And then you have the Vergigers, which are going to attack you no matter what. Then you have the Elite, which also will attack you no matter what. And that's if you don't end up finding any cult group, Paradios cult groups out there. Ah man, the yellow zones fucking sucks. Cowed by the dog's fire, the elites instinctively flock towards the direction where the gunfire is more sparse. There, Garen and the rest of his expedition team members are having a hard fight. Oh, really? Come and have a go. If you are hard enough, Garen's shout becomes a cry of pain. Oh no. His heavy armor provides him with a solid defense, but it also makes him too slow to avoid the attacks coming from all directions. Qiuhua's voice comes in over our encrypted channels. Oh wait, are we weakening his forces by dragging him into the elite zone? Oh, is that the plan? Because they have such strong armament, it is better to weaken them first, to then decide to try to confront them head on. Is that the plan? Commander, we have largely cleared out the side out. Should we go over to assist? No need to rush. Approach the combat area and wait for my signal. I watch Inspector Leo head towards Garen. After ensuring that the tactical situation is under control, I take out my binoculars. Behind Garen, an elite is about to bash his brains out. Garen, get down! Oops. I misclick. Inspector Leo raises his gun and Garen instinctively ducks. The bang which follows is lost in the clamor of battle, but the elite behind Garen crumbles to the ground. However, this is just a single insignificant moment on the battlefield, and more elites pounce on them. Qiuhua, Sabrina, go back them up. Her thing, I have been waiting for this. Even after putting down my binoculars, I can still see Qiuhua dragging Sabrina over to help. From the driver's seat, Rosa smiled. As lively as ever, Qiuhua, I mean. Yes, she's very good at managing the mood. The battle soon ends, and the others return to the jeep. Garen and the Inspector collapse into the seats to regain their strength. Everyone alright? Some of our boys in the jeep there are hurt. Nothing major though, it's no big deal. It was a little close back there, but we are vets of the Yellow Zone, so it's not like we haven't seen this shit before. Back when we first came to the farm, it was still a heap of rubble and there were elites running around inside its perimeter. Garen was always at the head of the pack whenever there was an attack. Do you remember those days, Garen? How could I possibly forget? We couldn't find anywhere to take cover, so we had to pitch our tents inside one of those condemned buildings. I think it was around the same time as now, yeah? You had to sleep with one eye open, and one night I woke up to a elite about to bite my fucking nose off. Oh, yes. It was cold that night. I thought we were done for. We used up all our ammo and nearly froze to death. Qiuhua tenses up as she hears this. What's happened then? How did you survive? Well, we somehow managed to fight them off. While we were picking up the pieces, we suddenly heard a broadcast on the radio. It was a festive song, and Garen began whistling along with it. Soon everyone joined in, even though their singing was terrible. I still remember the warmth of the sun that day. It was a good start to the day. You still remember a passing Green Zone convoy? I still remember a passing Green Zone convoy asked if we were setting off fireworks last night. Yeah, we were shooting off fucking RPGs all night long. How's that for fireworks? They go back and forth, reminiscing about the past. The mood in the air is the most relaxed it has been so far. You shot that elite off my face back then, didn't you? Just like now. Man, I have been dead if it wasn't for you. That elite had a whistle on it. I cleaned it and gave it to you as a memento. Do you remember it? Of course. I have been holding on to it all this time. At this point, Garen falls silent and says no more. The inspector looks calmly at Garen. So, working together was worthwhile, right? Oh boy, here he comes. After that, we built the farm into what it is today. I believe that focusing on rules and helping each other meant that the farm wouldn't fall apart after a few years, like most bounty hunter groups. You know how it is. We humans are tiny specks. It's only by banding together that we have a chance against the storm of life. Qiuhua nods vigorously, almost about to chime in with approval. He's so... Oh, Qiuhua. I tug on her and interrupt her from doing so. Well, it's almost time for the festive trade. Our collapsed pieces were stolen and we can't buy the supplies we need. The farm's facing an invisible storm on its own. We built this farm together. I want to keep it standing until the very end. Garen, will you help me like you did back then? Oops. Garen looks down and then he laughs. As sternborn as ever. The inspector turns away and with a look of disappointment on his face, looking at the road ahead. Here it comes. Here it comes. This is the time. Just then, a text message alert breaks the silence. Mine. It's not the time yet. God damn it. Gentlemen, Amanda is here, and we're almost at the designated meeting point.
戦勝祝いにナンバ作ろうかいな。
Look at this creature, this demon, heart of gluttony and greed. There are two people in the vehicle shelter. They are leaning against a truck in the shelter, waiting for us. We dismount to show our respect and trust. That said, despite being several hundred meters away, one of them is already jumping and hopping around. Of course, Bepley. She's here, let's go, Bepley. Man, there, over here, Bepley's here. Bepley happily runs up to us. Don't worry, Commander. Bepley knows today's mission. Bepley will put on a good show. Shh, Bepley, shut up, shut up. Don't talk. Stop talking. Don't say too much. Mr. Pizza, is something wrong? Qiuhua quickly fiddles with Bepley's Mr. Pizzaro's backpack, taking advantage of Bepley's distraction to flash the others a placating smile. Sorry, she's new. I am Aminda. No, you're not. And it's nice to meet you. To meet new clients. Qiuhua strives mightily to control her laughter and looks away, not daring to look further. Sabrina smiles too. Only Groza remains calm. I need to give this girl some theater lessons so they can control themselves. They need some lessons on better acting. The commander has given me a rough summary of the situation. I have brought what you want. The payment will be in installments. The details are all in the contract. Not that I am a professional actor. I would have to find someone to do it. Wait, is there any dolls who is an actor? I can't remember now. But there might be someone, right? I mean... Jugem? Fuck, I'm not good with Chinese names. But Diane's sister is an actress of some sort. Okay, granted, she's a martial arts actress. But she might know a thing or two, right? Since time is tight, shall we set off now and bring the goods back to the settlements right away? Hang on, I want to check the merch. Open the cargo bay and let us have a look at it. As he says this, Garen brings his armed expeditioners over to the truck. Certainly. Qiuhua calmly opens the cargo bay. The expedition team members move crate after crate of cargo out and lay them in neat rows on the ground before inspecting them. As they move towards the crates deeper within, Qiuhua moves to stop them. We are deep in the middle of the Yellow Zone, right? Surely bringing them all out will be a little dangerous. If we run into the Vertigers, well, my humble enterprise wouldn't be able to take the losses if we couldn't move them all back in time. Garen, we are getting the goods first and paying them later. We can inventory the cargo when we get back. No need to worry about them pulling bricks. Yep, that's right. Anything could happen out here, so it's best to get it back to safety first. Garen, just check a few of them. We should prepare to head back soon. The expeditioners do not stop opening crates and ignore the inspector's words. Oh boy. My pulse quickens. These resource crates are placeholders borrowed from the Elmo. Not all of them are filled with supplies. And there is no telling when they will open one that's filled with sand. Okay, this is the time that my gacha luck needs to come in play, okay? Okay, alright. Fine. Stop and load it all back up. Let's go. We will lead the way. The inspector turns away. A weapon chambers with an audible click from behind him. More plumes of dust rise up in the distance as more jeeps drive over, easily cutting us off from the truck. These vehicles have the emblems of the expedition team on them. They weren't in the convoy just now. Leader Garen, what's the meaning of this? Is this what you chose in the end, Garen? Armed and armored men jump down from the jeeps and approach us. Their guns are aimed at the inspector and me. The dolls immediately form a scream in front of us. Broker, this is farm business. Stay out of it. You'll get the money you are promised and an extra 10% as a gratuity. Sure, we will be good. Coffee smiles and backs up with her hands behind her back. But I sense that she's waiting for my command. I give her an almost imperceptible nod by way of response. And you, commander of, what was it? The emu? If you butt out now, we will pay you off too. Oh, this is a coup, huh? For how long was he planning to do this? Fucking... If he was planning to do this a long time ago, and this is not just his response to... No. He did say to leave Coffee, for Coffee to be out of it, and the commander too, so he's not suspicious of what's happening right now. So this is a planned coup, possibly. Fucking douchebag. Unfortunately, in our line of work, we have these things called principles, you see. Plus, I have my reputation to think about, so unfortunately, I can't do that. I mock bow in apology, but stand my ground. Garen North, there are far more expedition members now than before. Clearly, this has given him a huge boost in confidence. Not living? Then you are just asking to die. Before that, can I ask you why you're doing this? On account of the fact that we used to be friends. Yet, you don't know? I think I can give you a freebie before you die. I took the collapse pieces. I wanted to screw you screw your little festive prayer over, and I wanted those losers you took pity on to pick you out, along with all those useless bums you hired. What a way. What a way. What a way to just... how should I say this? Throw yourself? Is that an expression? No, I don't think. I think the words are not. But essentially, he's proving his guilt. That he's guilty at this point. He's saying it all himself. Good God, Garen. Good God. This is the villain monologue, alright? You just run the farm into the ground with those losers dragging you down. We in the expedition team do the most and risk the most. I should have been the inspector in the first place. Yup, it is a quote. Garen gets more and more worked up as he speaks, as though he's pouring out years of frustration at once. Do you know how many of my boys died out there? Do you even recognize their faces? Have you ever seen them bleed, get their limbs torn off, or the crystals growing through their bodies? They die from the supplies we brought back. Why should we share it with those useless bums back at the farm? Those vendors and scavengers are all equally useless. This is the yellow zone. We can't find it. If we can find it, you think we can't sell it? And your guards are just as useless. If it wasn't for the expedition team covering for them, what the fuck would they even be able to protect? But in the end, the supplies got around to everyone anyway. Garen waves his gun around wildly as he vents, but he never once pointed at the inspector. It seems at the moment, getting all this off his chest is more satisfying for him than just finishing us off. So that's what you were upset about. But have you ever considered that what would happen to the farm if things hadn't developed as you expected? What good would the title of inspector be if the farm had fallen into internal upheavals? Would your expedition team be able to escape all that untouched? So what if I didn't think about it? I still believe that anyone who's strong enough can survive anywhere he ends up. You ought to know just how much the farm is expanding and how much we are taking in. We have pretty much swept all the nearby catches, and our expeditions are going further and further, about twice as long as before. Even if we can sustain our numbers at the moment, what about in 3 years' time? Or 5? Don't forget all those useless mouths you're taking in are popping our are pooping out brats too. You can't think of it that way. There were others working in the farm too. They are establishing a logistics chain for you, and the kids will grow up to be productive members of the community. Please reconsider, Garen. Put your guns down. The farm still needs the expedition team. We can still make it work. Are you fucking blind? How many people do you have? How many people do I have? I will make you a counter offer. Take your hired guns and get lost. Never come back to the farm and I will spare your life. So there's no room for discussion, then. Can run or die. Can run or die. Pick one. Oh, but don't worry. I will tell them you died along the way. Everyone will remember you. Once I become the inspector, Dirk Steel Farm will become the most powerful settlement in the Yellow Zone under me. I will keep the vendors who can make good peaches. As for the rest, they can screw off. It seems there's nothing else to say. I gave you the chance to leave. You were the one who rejected. Get them, boys. Get them, boys. come on, yeah, boy, yeah, chief, yes, boss, we're gonna get. sorry. This guy, he just, I don't know, he just gives off this goon impression to me. Garen signals to the expedition team to attack. Some of them hesitate, since the target is the inspector. But after seeing their colleagues moving, they raise their guns too. Oh, so not exactly all of them are on board with this. Okay. Alright, not everything is lost, because I was thinking, if we get rid of the expedition team, what forces will the Darksteel form have left to maintain their current, how should I say, economy? Maybe we can still save some of these guys, if we don't kill them all in the fight that is about to happen. Alright then. At some point, the inspector has pulled out an old whistle. He blows on it. The shrill sound echoes through the sky. It is answered by the sound of jeeps roaring through the distance from afar. These are reinforcements from the guard squad. What? Is that a whistle-shaped transmitter? I had been meaning to modify my own transmitters with rapid styling like that. I bet it would look great on the commander. Turns out someone else already did it. A whistle, you say? Didn't it come up in that story just now? Oh, it's nothing. It's not important. Let's get ready for battle too. Groza, Sabrina, and Qiuhua aside. I signal to Coffiny and Vapley too. Time for Vapley's exciting debut. I'm ready, Commander. Coffiny draws her gun, her tiny ass gun, ready for battle. Now, the expedition team's advantage is no more. Garen's eyes go wide as he looks incredulously at the inspector. You knew? Impossible. When did you find out? Or did... So you never trusted me in the first place, did you? The inspector's eyes are filled with a complex mix of emotions. 10 minutes ago, I was still thinking that if you were willing to give up on this, I could continue pretending that nothing happened. I'm sorry, Garen. And now we fight. Replay, Coffiny, Qiuhua, Groza. No Groza? Oh, there she is. Commander, we are ready for battle. Your orders, please. Roger that. Everyone, mission start. Start. Sorry. Well, that play, she's just there, essentially, so... Let's give Coffiny some action. Oh. That's the boss? Really? Okay. Watch this then. Wait, hold on. Oh, okay, 7 turns. Alright. Ooh, over half HP in just one attack. Let me do that. And then this. And now. And then pew pew. Ah, fuck, not enough. Pew pew. Ow. Dun, 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 dun. I rarely use this skill. Let me do it now.
腕が鳴るおやおや
And then... Pew pew!
パンパ
Pum pum. Sorry, it's pum pum.
ンええ
Can your ultimate reach that? Yes, it can. Let's go. Easy.
ターゲット確認
Several guards have Garen tied up. The inspector walks up to him. Tell me where the collapsed pieces are, Garen. You sounded confident enough to give that broker 10% bonus, so I'm sure you have hidden them somewhere. At first, we thought that Garen wouldn't tell us. After all, the collapsed pieces were a valuable bargain chip enough to buy his life. However, he gives up the location so readily that it catches everyone off guard. Got that? Data logged, Commander. I have recorded the coordinates too. It's Darksteel Farm, deep inside the ruins, it seems. Sure, I lost. I wasn't wrong though. I just wasn't strong enough, I admit that. Leo, I will be watching you from the afterlife. He snorts derisively. Well, leaving that aside, if you ask me, things won't went well for softs like you, Leo. Still, considering you used to be buddies, I hope you make it to the next year. Thank you, Garen. As the inspector looks at his former friend, his face is a mask of pity and regret. Then he chambers around. Garen leans forward, resting his head against the muzzle of the inspector's gun. Commander, this is an internal matter for the farm. Would you mind? Oh, the dolls and I are just going to scout the perimeter. Been a while since we went for a walk in the wasteland. I gather the dogs and lead them away with me. Behind us, the guards have Garen's men at gunpoint. By the time we get back on the jeep, the faint sound of cracks and pops can be heard in the distance. Never mind, so they decided to kill them all, it seems, huh? Ugh. Why the fuck am I hearing explosions? Why are they throwing fucking grenades at this, guys? Jesus fucking Christ. It sounds like fireworks in the green zones, doesn't it? Yeah. Out with the old, in with the new. Leave all the bad stuff behind and welcome a brand new start. I hope that you see a new beginning. Despite Qiuhua's attempts to cheer everyone up, everyone is still strangely gloomy. I patted them all on the shoulder. Just then, Petty sends us a transmission. Oh, hello, Petty. Has been a while. Commander, I contact Aminda as requested. We are together now. I think the sound of gunfire has died down. Can we approach? Yes. Escort Aminda and to the real meetup point. The farm's inspector will be there after we arrive. Roger that. Ah, she's so cute. Petty ends the transmission. Several days ago, after Qiuhua and I asked Aminda for help, The real Aminda responded to us. I arranged for Patty to have her wait nearby so she wouldn't get caught up in the fight, while Coffney and Svapley impersonated her. The Inspector and Aminda quickly give the supplies a once-over, and on the way back the Inspector chooses to ride with us. When we go back, I will tell them that Garen and his inspection team were attacked by Vertigers and died. I trust you all know what to do and don't need me to elaborate, right? Yes, sir. This is the official statement, sir. Understood. Don't worry, our lips are sealed. Can I ask about something? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. I saw some of the expedition team members were kind of confused about what to do, and they didn't really seem too heavily involved with all of this. Are they going to die gloriously, too? I guess they did make their choice when they decided to point their guns at the Inspector. There weren't a lot of those outsiders, so the guards are going to have a good long chat with the survivors. Oh, so we are sparing some of these people. Okay, alright, I see. They are probably going to be traumatized after watching their teammates die, so they will need some follow-up therapy for a while. Then, once they are fully recovered, they can go back to work. The Inspector says all of this with a straight face, as though expedition leader Garen had actually been killed in a Vertiger attack. Inspector, there's a little splash on your neck. Sabrina touches her neck to indicate the spots in question. The Inspector reaches up to try to wipe the stain, but only spreads the reddish-brown color further, like a wound that will not heal. Let me do it. I squirt some water from my hydration pack, and finally the wound is wiped away. I note the whistle-shaped transmitter hanging around his neck is now outside his shirt. Is that the whistle Garen gave you? The Inspector looks down and reaches up to hold it. Yes. He doesn't elaborate, but he doesn't take it off either. Only stuffs it back inside his shirt. I didn't fight for a long time before today, but now I feel like I am a bounty hunter again. The road is rough and the engine roars. We shake and shudder inside the vehicle, not knowing what lies ahead of us. The leader of a bounty hunter crew ought to protect his people. A settlement leader ought to protect his home. It's the same thing. You're more than qualified to be a leader. My words force a laugh from the Inspector. Also, this guy can laugh. Actually, I have a question I would like to ask. It's just an idle question, so don't take it seriously. Oh my god, I think I'm starting to get tired. I am stumbled through my words a little bit too much. What are you planning to do after this trade fair? The expedition team was your primary source of income, right? The inspector is silent for a while. There are too many things I have to do. I don't know where to begin. The expedition team has lost its leader. We will need to appoint a new one and recruit new members. Oh! Scavengers. Garen's concerns were valid. The farm needs to improve its productivity and find new resources. The path to survival will be difficult, but I believe that when one door closes, another opens. His tone grows more and more grim as he contemplates these matters. Now that I think about it, I should have seen this coming. The expedition team has been unhappy about how resources were allocated for a long time. I told him that our current reward scheme favors the expedition team's contributions over all others. Plus, even if he had won, it wouldn't change the fact that he needs a support staff. Everyone in the settlement has their own task to complete. The inspector pauses, then looks at Qiuhua before continuing. Apart from the scavengers. Huh? Why did you suddenly... Yura told me that the scavengers could effectively develop the ruins and that they knew various agricultural techniques which could provide us with a limitless source of foods. But he was wrong. The residents don't see any value in keeping. That was also one of the factors that drove Garen to his rebellion, although I didn't expect him to actually do it. It isn't just the expedition team that's unhappy with them. If we don't solve the problem of the scavengers, the other residents won't be able to tolerate them either. Do you regret taking them in? The inspector thinks, then he shakes his head. Dark Steel Farm is their home, and people in the Yellow Zone have all had times when they were adrift and lost, myself included. Nobody wants to lose their home a second time. I will do my best to buy them sometime, but I also need to take the well-meaning of all residents into consideration too. So, in the end, they will have to rely on themselves. After the inspector says this, we all fall silent for a moment. Well, if it's just about the food, I might have a solution here. There. Or rather, I'm pretty sure I have a solution. We all look at Qiuhua. Oh, she's going to cook! She's going to cook! And it's going to be so good! Finally! I wanted to mention this earlier, but we had all this stuff going on, so I never had the chance to tell Yura. Anyway, I saw Sola's razzle nuts while we were exploring the ruins. Oh, the plants that keep growing, and Yura said it was poisonous? Those things? What's that? It's a poisonous plant It's that poisonous plant that Yura was talking about. Actually, it grows fruits. You need to crack them open and process them, but in short, they are edible. I spent a long time in the Yellow Zone running around and studying what new life forms in the Yellow Zone and can't be eaten. Look at the first expression though. So I think you can trust me on this. Of course, the beast of gluttony joins in the conversation too. I can vouch for that. Qiuhua is a proper Yellow Zone Master Chief now. Sorry, Master Chef. The fact that they are everywhere in the ruins means raising them is pretty simple. Even if you need some time to grow them, just harvesting what's in the ruins should be able to tide you over for a year and a half or so. Also, they are really filling too. In short, I think the scavengers will be able to feed themselves. It would be great if they could cultivate them. Relax, Inspector. I'm sure the scavengers can do it. The truth is, I disagree with what Leader Garen had said before. Qiuhua hesitates, but she ultimately decides to continue with the topic. Even if things are tough now, based on what I have seen in people in the Yellow Zone these few years, I believe humans will continue to survive in the world, and the world will continue to get better. Someday, everyone will be able to eat their fill and wear a full set of comfortable clothes that fit well and do the work they like. Of course, the requirement for that is that the people don't give up. No matter what choice they make, whether they accept or reject something, they have to keep going on. As for me, I'll keep doing what I can do, which is to make sure everyone gets something to eat. Mr. Inspector, you aren't a weak man. You will live a good long time. And maybe when your hair turns gray and white, you will see a kinder, gentler world, like we have never seen before. For once, Qiuhua is absolutely serious and solemn. Everyone is briefly stunned into silence, until Sabrina giggles. Bravissimo! That's exactly the kind of thing you would say, Qiuhua. What do you mean by that? Of course I would say what I would say. The dolls begin squabbling as the jeep continues forward. And from the corner of my eye, I can see the inspector smiling too. Aww, cute moment, huh? Look at that. Yummily scrumptious? The lively flames and rolling steam plumes grants people courage and vigor. Unlocked by clearing all story mode stages from Life Rekindled. Let's go. And finally, at last, QS16 Endless Heart Flame. What is a celebration without sizzling hot food? Oh, let's go! She's finally going to cook. We find the collapsed pieces at the location Garen gave us, and the festival takes place as planned. Unlike the previous years, this year's ceremony includes a memorial service for the fallen members of the expedition team. After the solemn event, the distribution of annual supplies takes place, and the settlement erupts into a wild revelry. Chief Yura, your boxes look really heavy. Need help in carrying them? It's alright. We scavengers didn't have that many contribution points, so we only managed to collect a few boxes. I can handle 3 more loads like this by myself. It's not like you to push yourself so hard. Commander, can you understand the joy I'm feeling right now? I'm carrying our supplies, and the more I have, the heavier they are. So the extra weight is actually a sense of security, or tiredness that comes from happiness. At Yura's insistence, all we can do is watch him return with his hand full, without lifting a finger to help. By the time we return to the scavengers camp, Qiuhua has just finished her tutorial on how to cook and prepare the soulless hazelnuts, and we can hear her bright, cheery voice through the flaps of the tent. Once again, I emphasize, you absolutely have to make sure you cook it truly. If it's not properly cooked, you mustn't eat it. Rosa has taken Sabrina to go shopping, which leaves me with nothing to do but watch the scavengers as they begin cultivating their test plot. Shortly afterwards, I hear footsteps from behind as Qiuhua walks up to me. Done with the lesson? Yep, my students are doing self-study now. I hope we don't get any food poisoning cases tonight. Qiuhua moves to my side. The scavengers are laboring on their various tasks and for the moment, so nobody notices us. In the past, I left that green zone farm because I saw a lot of cases where people and places fell apart. When I deliver fancy and expensive ingredients to the green zone restaurant, I watched people throw away leftovers without a second thought. But when I did deliveries in the yellow zone, every moment and every place I visited had people plagued by hunger, pain, and fear. I couldn't change the restaurants in the green zone, but there's a lot I can do in the yellow zone. Qiuhua's voice is quieter and gentler than usual. Truth is, I wasn't always good at cooking, but I spent the past few years focusing on food, looking for hidden gems among ingredients and figuring out how to prepare them. Slowly, my cooking skills improved. Food. It seems to have a magical power that can ease pain. People would sigh in relief after eating the stuff I made. Perhaps feeling hungry is something like the hope to survive. Don't you think? You have grown a lot in your search for a cooking skill. You have done well during this incident. Really? Qiuhua looks at me, her eyes shining like stars. I'm glad you approve, Commander. You know, I haven't thanked you for helping me with this whole thing, Commander. You don't need to. It was an interesting experience for me. What do you mean by that? Of course I have to thank you. While I started out as fulfilling a request from my old boss, halfway through it turned into carrying out the mission that I assigned to myself. Whether it's the scavengers here or the residents in the settlement, I want to spare them all the pain of hunger and give them the courage they need to live on. Do you think I managed to do that, Commander? Well, the look on your face tells me you're pretty proud of what you have done. Still, since you want me to praise you, I will praise you again. Thanks, Commander. Satisfied, Qiuhua decides to change the topic. Yeah, now that you mention it, our reunion turned out completely different from what I originally planned. I was going to sneak aboard the Elmo with a whole bunch of awesome ingredients and a brand new skills, then announce myself with a full-on banquet. Did I end up making such a sloppy entrance anyway? Can we do it again, Commander? You know, pretend you never saw me. give me a chance to sneak aboard the Elmo. This reunion is good enough. Don't worry about it. True. Sure, it was sloppy, but that was just because of the circumstances. Our reunion was everything I wanted. I'm glad to be back on your side again. I laugh and pat Qiuhua on the back. A scavenger's voice comes from the tents, calling for Qiuhua. Miss Qiuhua, where are you, miss? Could you show us a few more dishes, please? I'm coming. Qiuhua bids me farewell before rushing towards the tent. Wait, Qiuhua. I just remembered that Mei Ling, she's our mechanist aboard the Qiuhua, sent a recipe for how do you read this? Jiaozi? Jiaozi feeling a while back. Seems like she wants some. Can you do anything with it? No problem. Jiaozi are part of my specialty. Just leave it to me. I sent Qiuhua Mei Ling's recipe. At the foot of the highland, another person approaches me. It's the inspector. This is the first time I have seen the scavenger camp so lively. We meet again, Commander. The inspector looks around and greets me breezily. Chief Yuras, by the tent. No, I'm here for you. The inspector takes an envelope from his pocket. Let's go, it's our payment. Oh, never mind. This special entry permit is for you, an additional gift, above and beyond what was promised in the contract. Oh, let's go, it is our payment. For the sake of our continued friendship. I look at the permit, which bears the inspector's personal signature. I suddenly recall all the crap we went through and being chased by the checkpoint guards because of this, giving me an urge to chuckle. On behalf of the farm's residents and myself, of course, I would like to thank you for the help you gave to Dark Steel Farm. Even if I can't publicly declare it, this permit will serve as a symbol that the Elmo will always be a friend of the farm. You're welcome. Now that I have delivered my gifts, I'll be heading. Why not stay for dinner? He was cooking up a storm. I have to take care of things at the admin center. We'll share a drink next time. The inspector waves to us and goes back the way he came. Commander, we are back. Girls have brought tons of cute little trinkets. And me too. I stocked up on cheese, of course. Sabrina, don't bring it up. Why hide it? Today's a day of celebration. It's okay to go over budget if it's once in a while. Why do you have so much food? Miss Dahlia forced us to take it. She said it was thanks for saving her life. She spent a lot of contribution points on them, but apparently the inspector transferred her some of his personal account. Ah, so it's a gift. That's good to hear. Send it all to Qiuhua. We'll have extra dishes tonight. Phew, it didn't came off our pockets. That's good to hear. Evening comes as smoke from the cook fire curls into the sky. In the distance, the trade fair and the settlement glow brightly in the twilight. Around us, the tents are suffused by a warm radiance. I call Mailing and all the dolls who aren't occupied at the moment to the campsites so they can enjoy the evening with us. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Hot. Coming through. Make way. Yeah. Where did all the Jowsy go? Save me some, come on. Qiuhua's voice fills the air as she strides out with big plates of food in hand. Around her, the scavengers exchange seasonal greetings as they celebrate surviving another year. Commander, sometimes I feel like the fire in the stove is like an ember of hope. Because whenever there's smoke from a cooking fire, there's hope and a future. After thinking for a bit, I nod in agreement. No matter how hard the previous year might have been, people's hearts are still filled with joy in the moment when a plate of piping hot food is laid on the table. And their shared enjoyment of the dishes brings them closer together. Commander, have a good time. The coming year is going to be a good one, right? I'm sure it will. Let's fucking go! She cooked! She finally cooked! Man, that was a nice little event. And it had some... how do I say? It had some surprising moments more near the end. But overall, it was a very simple story. Not that complicated, not that simple. It was cute. And Qiuhua is also so cute, man. We could also, on top of that, we had the chance to see Beth play again. Which was pretty damn nice. The only thing I lament about this event is I kinda miss the fact that we don't have a new boss to it. Instead we had this mini boss recycled. Which is a shame, but I can understand, I think it's too much to expect the devs to cook a new boss on every event in such a short amount of time. And the challenge modes is only going to be available in a few hours. Alright. So, Qiuhua is so cute, man. She's so... I don't know. I just get happy seeing her here. Alright. And so, that's it for the story. Life Rekindled has ended. Yippee! Claps. Then, and with that, it concludes my GFL2 streams for a while. Next streams is not going to happen tomorrow. It's probably going to happen on Friday. Very likely it's going to happen on Friday. And I was thinking that I'm going to stream the current side story event that is happening on GFL1. Forgot the name. What was the name again? Let me just open. Come on. What the fuck was the name of the event? Girls Frontline. Media. There we go. Permitted reloading. Yep. The next game the next story I'm going to stream and read is going to be permitted reloading in the side story event on GFL1 on Friday. Very likely. If not on Friday, then definitely on Saturday. Alright, that's everything I wanted to say. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye. Bye, Hunter.